Hello, I don't know whether you've seen, but there's a new listing out. The latest list from the Conservative Home website has been leaked to the national press, and there we learn that Rishi Sunak has been recorded as the worst performing minister in the present cabinet. His ranking is not only at the bottom, but he also has scored a minus a minus result. So therefore, he's very much in league with Priti Patel's usual standing. She used to be on, I think, -30. I I find it extraordinary that that Rishi Sunak. When I find it hard to think of Rishi Sunak, whose admittedly fairly dodgy and questionable family tax dealings certainly merit a ranking shift. But I find it hard to think of Sunak ranking beneath Nadine Dorries, or even that Priti Patel, in some perverse way, outranks Rishi Sunak. I it's probably consoling in some strange way that Ben Wallace was on the top of the ranking, that he was the top ranking minister. It's disturbing that Boris is recognised by his own party members, by those people who are signed up members of the Conservative Party, as being down on the bottom three. But possibly we just have to recognise that when it comes to ranking, while it all seems on the Conservative in the Conservative home page, while it all seems a little bit introspective and a little bit behind the times, that the Conservative home website is just catching up with what the rest of us already think. Now, so when it comes to ranking, I think the idea of these senior cabinet ministers being ranked right at the bottom, well, in a way, it really takes the biscuit. But that is what they have done to them. They've brought it on themselves. This is a self-produced situation, and Boris had every opportunity to sort this out. I cannot understand how he has been unable to see the writing on the wall, but these rankings make it absolutely clear to me that Boris is going to be very lucky if he gets past, much past, the coming May elections, and I'm sure they are going to be excoriating. Just as I'm sure, having read the leaks about the latest leaks about the Sue Gray report, that is going to be a devastating report, and it'll be extraordinary if Boris can survive that. I mean, he may be thick-skinned enough to think that's water off a duck's back, but I don't think the rest of the party will take that view, and I don't think the country will take that view. I think Boris will have to go. And so we're in a position where Boris could have done some good in the last 6 months, and he's done nothing. He's clung on to office, and I feel I've been singing into the wind, and it's taken some time for the Conservative home website to recognise the correct order of these rankings. But however it's doing its ranking, the Conservative home it's just late, and the whole thing is a disaster. We should have brought, or Boris should have brought, charismatic backbenchers into the cabinet. He should have resisted the gripes of ministers who he knows are not performing properly. He should have put backbenchers into those positions to give them a taste of high office, so that at least there were options available to, to the Conservative Party for a possible successor. Now those options are countable on pretty well one hand, and I think Ben Wallace looks good in this in this rankings, but he's a sort of yeah, he's a sea snail, and he has the charisma of a stone. I don't see him as future prime ministerial material. I know that Liz Truss sees herself as prime ministerial material, the lady who doesn't know geography. I know that Priti Patel sees herself in the same way, the lady who was accused of bullying. It may even be that somebody who has very minor ministerial office experience, like Nadine Dorries, may also see herself as a potential successor. Maybe Dominic Raab. But he was the man who was caught asleep on the job. Even Michael Gove. But he has a lot of explaining to do, and maybe even Rees-Mogg. But I think I think any bid that Rees-Mogg might make for the top job is likely to fail. I think he might. I think if he'd got his act together, he might have made a very good Speaker of the House of Commons. But Lindsay Hoyle is doing the job superbly. Can Keir Starmer really replace Boris and lead a cabinet which is better than the one we've already got? Well, I think probably he could. It's difficult at the moment to think that anybody could be worse than the present people seated around the present number 10 cabinet table. But I am worried that I am worried that Keir Starmer's